Okay? Okay, now start asking me whatever you want now. I used to come down to Coney Island when I was a kid. Never dreamed that I'd be working there. I got an ad in the paper for a waitress, and I said, in Coney Island, you know? So I went down. He put me behind the counter. I was a waitress. From then on, 18 years. All the concessionaires used to eat in there. And I knew exactly what they were ordering. A roast beef sandwich on rye toast, scrambled eggs with toast or something like that. I knew they were ordered as soon as they walked in the door. That's where I met Freddy. He was a customer, and he used to come in like 3-4 times a day. Only for black coffee, because he was always on a diet, but he never lost weight. And I got to know him a little better, and then one night he came in, and we were closing early. And he said, want to come over to my house? And I said, where do you live? And he says, under the roller coaster. And I said, you're kidding. We had a lot of fun, him and I. And we get, closer and closer as the years went on. Although his mother was Jewish and very religious, and I was Catholic, so we didn't mix. If he picked me up in the convertible and his mother was around, I'd be on the floor in the car. He'd tell me, duck, my mother. Yeah, I was scared stiff of her. But it didn't stop us from seeing one another. We still went on. In fact, we forgot about getting married anyway through the years. Freddy worked hard for Coney Island, and everybody respected him.
Mr. Moran, you've seen a lot of changes since you've been here.
Well, differences, not so much changes. Coney Island remains about the same. Roller coasters are a very, very stable element of the amusement business. And I don't see any way that they're going to be replaced by anything else that will give the same feeling.
The Thunderbolt was such an important roller coaster. It was, well loved and photographed and known everywhere.
The location was excellent. The ride was well kept. To my knowledge, there was never an accident.
The real challenge in Coney Island is that roller coasters were built on very narrow city lots, so it became a challenge to fit the curves and the hills. The fact that it had these tight turns made it one of the most exciting coasters.
Freddy's father and a man named Klein, they got together and they built the roller coaster. The house was built first, but it's a hotel.
Rather than demolish the building, they built the roller coaster on top of it.
The family ran it, and they lived under it.
So there's the men working on the ride. And every morning, 2 or 3 men used to have to walk that ride all the way around to make sure everything was in place.
They collected the fall off, you might say, from the ride. They had barrels full of dentures and eyeglasses.
You get used to the sound, and it wears off.
A lot of people didn't know there was a house under there. In the summer, the trees covered the house, and then you never knew that anyone was living there.
You didn't know what it was,
You know, it was just a gray building.
The outside was just blah,
But the
but
inside
the
was
inside was
magnificent.
beautiful.
I had a baby grand piano, wall-to-wall rugs. It was 6 rooms, a lot of windows, a lot of air. If the wind was blowing towards the house, I heard everything going on in Coney Island. And everybody knew me in Coney Island.
Mae is a Coney Island icon, I would say, because everyone knew Mae when she lived down here.
She's real Coney Island. One of those people who you say has sand in their shoes.
My favorite thing about Mae is she would invite you over her house for tea. And when you got there, there wasn't any hot water, there weren't any tea bags, there was a 6-pack of beer.
At night, it would get cooled off, everybody would go home. Bunch of us would get together and we'd play cards and need a ride. It was a family. It was like living in the country, really. And in the winter, it was definitely like in the country. I used to get done work at 2 o'clock in the morning, and Freddy would pick me up, and we'd go on the beach, we'd take up our rings, our watches, and everything else, put it down, and we'd go in the water. We would swim all the way out to the end of the pier, him and I. I'm starting to reminisce, and some of it is sad. For a while there, it went very bad.
All of a sudden, like somebody turned off the switch on Coney Island. We went to many, many summers with no rides, nothing. I mean, the boardwalk was all broken down, the beaches were dirty. There used to be gangs over here.
He started to get sick. This was before he died. He had an uncle, and when Freddy was very sick, the uncle said, "I'll get a rabbi and marry you." I said, "It's too late. I won't marry him now." Not a man that's in bed dying. I wouldn't marry him then. I remember the first time I stayed in that house alone. I didn't sleep in bed that night. I slept in a chair because I was a little afraid. The ride closed down. Nobody picked it up, so just laid there. The grass grew around the tracks and everything else. And you're always out chasing somebody away, you know. People looking in. I I got used to the quietness.
She was brave. To me, it was dangerous by then. And she always walked around with a 38. So she did have a problem. She had a gun with her.
My daughter and my son was a little worried about me living there alone, you know, at my age. So that's when I decided I'd move. When they heard I was moving, they came down like cameras and everything else. I didn't want to be bothered. I didn't want to leave. I really didn't. I feel like I'm in a cubbyhole. Boring. That's one way to put it, and the only way. Boring. You get up, you want to do something. Every day you think of something different, and it's all about Coney Island. I mean, this is the biggest part of my life, was Coney Island.
It's funny, if people from Coney Island, once you get sand in your shoes, it seems that you never lose it.
I got a call from California that they were tearing it down, and I went down.
It was an assassination of a piece of architecture. It really was.
There was still hope while it was up that it would one day be rehabilitated and run again. It was like a piece of your life leaving.
It was sad watching that go down. I sat in the car and I was watching it. I didn't get out of the car, you know, I just sat there. And that was hard to get down. They had a job. They kept on hitting it and hitting it because it was all steel. The man that bought it was going to build a big park and, oh, what he wasn't going to do. But it fell through. I don't know what happened. I miss it. But I had a good run of it.